But when you slow down to think about it and realize, oh, so much of this is not ours.
Right.
But we still have to figure out how we're going to work through it and deal with it. And sometimes all it takes is just being a witness and an observer.
When we are in a funk, we affect our families, we affect people around us. So there are parts of our lives, whether it be in business or love or health, whatever, that we've suppressed or we've come out of alignment. And so sometimes we just need guidance to get back on course and say, really, like, at the soul essence of who you are, this is who you are. This is beautiful, you know, like helping souls evolve and just like we were talking about, but coming back into alignment.
Welcome to Reignite with Reet. I am sitting here with Gina Hansen.
Hello.
She is a friend, she is a coach, she is a healer, and she is a ex-flight attendant. I say ex because after 20 years she decided to retire. And she's also gone on a journey of, we call it a survivor and thriver. Because I think after you survive, you really learn how to thrive of cancer. So that's a lot of different things. She's also a mom.
Boy mom.
A boy mom. Welcome, Gina.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this. Whatever comes is meant to be.
Exactly. I think so too. So welcome, Gina. I
Thank you.
wanna dive right in.
Okay.
And let's start with flight attendant. You were a flight attendant for Delta for 20 years.
Yes, 28 years.
Oh,
Almost
28
30.
years.
Yeah, that's okay.
I robbed you 8 years.
Yeah, so I was graduating from college and I was studying communications, and I actually did an internship with Hawaiian Airlines in their public relations, thinking that was the route for me. But in that internship, I realized an office job was not right for me. But my auntie sent me, cut out an ad from the Sunday newspaper, and it said for Honolulu-based flight attendants, and they were hiring right as I was graduating. So I did not want to be a flight attendant. I know it's most people's dream, but I had friends that were flight attendants who would tell me all about the parties and all of the, all of this stuff that I didn't consider I was in alignment with. And yet I'm so glad I applied because it ended up being a really good thing for me. I got to see the world based here in Honolulu, but I got to do some base trades. I went to India twice. You're all over Europe and Asia. Yeah, all over. So, I would not have been like I feel like my vision of the world was expanded.
Yeah.
In that time, and I allowed my family to travel as well. So we did a lot of really cool, travel experiences every year, which I feel we grow so much through traveling.
I think it's the best education.
Yeah.
I write on my bios, I am a student of the University of Earth. Because my greatest experiences, my learning lessons, everything has been from traveling and getting outside of my comfort zone and seeing different perspectives, cultures, how things are done, the same things we do, but how 100 different other ways.
Right.
People eat what they eat and how.
And their values. Yeah, it's so cool to witness. So speaking of that, I'll just tag on to this
Please,
since we're
continue.
here. My son graduated from college a few months ago in June. Well, he actually graduated. He finished in November, but he walked in June. And he was telling me at the time, I really want to go to Vietnam, but yet, so he had this desire, but he didn't have the courage to do it. Because I kept asking him, what do you need? Do you need a visa? What do you need? You got to prepare, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And where are you going to stay? What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? All of these questions. And he never did it. And that was a few months ago. And I could tell in the process of him being back home here on the island, because he graduated in Denver, that he wasn't happy. And he was applying for jobs. He wasn't getting a job. And that was really affecting his self-esteem. And so earlier this month on 9/9, well, a couple of days before 9/9, I said, that's it. I'm going to push him out of the nest. So I did. I checked the loads from here to Japan. put him on a flight. He got first class all the way, living the life.
Yeah. It pays to have a mama like you.
Thanks. So then he gets there, and then he made a mistake because he was supposed to wait to know if he got on the flight, then book his connection to Thailand, Bangkok. But he booked it for 4 days later. So anyways, he did it. He was in the air, couldn't contact him. He figured out, I'm going to stay in Japan, wait for the flight, and he took over. And then he went to Thailand, and initially he wanted to go south of Bangkok to an area near Phuket, Phuket area.
Yeah.
That area, Krabi.
Krabi, yeah.
Yeah,
I've been there. We went on our honeymoon.
Oh,
and then I went back. My best friend lived there for 5 years.
Wow.
Not in Krabi, in Chiang Mai, but we went, spent a bunch of time in Krabi.
Yeah. So he wanted to go there, and I looked it up, and I said, okay, everything that you can do there, you can do here, but you're not doing it. So why do you want to go there? What is it, what is it that's calling you to be there? And so he ended up not going there. He went to Bangkok, and he recently, just yesterday, left Chiang Mai. He got to go on, many years ago when I was in my 20s, I ended up I flew into Bangkok. It was a little much for me.
Yeah.
It was a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And I decided to flee, go up north to Chiang Mai, and I did a trek with the Karen Hill tribe people up there. And he did it. And it's like over 25 years later, so he has a different experience, but yet the same, being up there with, people that are living in their traditional ways,
Yeah.
And so I'm so happy he got to see that. And he met some other people from Israel and France. And one of the people from France just yesterday took a bus with him, and they went up to Pai.
I went to Pai.
Yay!
My best friend lived in Chiang Mai, and then the second time I went solo to visit her for her 30th birthday, we took a trip to Pai for a few days. And it's pretty, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. You're away from, you're in the mountains, and you're living... They have everything there, but you also see a lot more.
Yeah. And I think that's what he was looking for in the place that he wanted to go to in Vietnam. Was he wanted to be in the rice paddy fields. He wanted to be in nature. So he's getting that experience in Thailand. Yeah, and then now he's tacking on. Now, I mean, he's not coming home. He took a small backpack. He has his laptop.
Smart.
He doesn't even have a full-on hiker backpack. He's got a small pack.
But he doesn't need much.
Yeah, but he's been doing laundry every week.
Right.
So it's fine.
You're in Asia. Every 7-Eleven on every corner.
Yeah.
Laundry people will do it for $3 for you. And he's going to learn so much and not have a lot to worry about.
Yeah.
It makes it easier. All he needs is laptop.
Yeah.
Because he can do work from anywhere. He can get a job, provide service, and he's not a big guy. He can buy a few new t-shirts and shorts, and off he goes.
Yeah, that's what I told him. So now that he's extending, now he's going to tack on Laos, and then he's going to go to China. Wow. So I'm like, well, if you're not coming back till November, you're going to need some warm stuff because he only has t-shirts and shorts. So
he'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, at the beginning, I was a little worried.
Yeah.
Because it was, I know how it's a lot, a lot of energy, a lot of people. But he made it, and he's just thriving, making friends, and, from international perspective, seeing things and having lunch with, new people. Yeah. And he used to be an introvert.
This will change his whole perspective.
Yeah. This is all new.
I think his soul was probably not meant to be an introvert, but our life and our situations.
Yeah.
We attach to labels.
Yeah.
Because I remember I never saw my daughter as shy. Mm-hmm. So I swear somebody called her shy, and she took that label as a blanket, and she still uses it. And I will call her out on it. And I'm like, you know what, sweetie? I'm your mama, and your mama knows you're not shy. Mm-hmm. You can. It's okay to be quiet and reserved, but I've seen you running around and being wild and free, and you have a loud voice when you want to use it, and you don't have to always use it, but I don't want you to hold on to this label for your whole life saying I'm shy, because it's going to stop you from doing things that your soul and you came here to do,
right,
and you want to do,
right.
So because somebody else projected to you,
right,
because they saw one small moment of you, one small moment, and they decided they knew who you were, and they gave you a label.
Yeah.
And I've spent the last 5 years kind of dismantling that and being like, if she uses that word, I'm like, we're going to use a different word.
Yeah.
What else are you? Because that's not the only thing. You're vibrant, you're brilliant, you're smart, you have energy. Like, let's not box ourselves.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's just, we are a generation that came from parents. They did the best they could.
Yeah. Well, it comes from us from their programming. Some of it was not meant for us to be stuck in our subconscious mind, but it was, you know, like how they lived their lives. We took meaning to, and we put it there, and sometimes it resurfaces at different times, and that's when it's ready to be healed. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very. I see now from this point, like how much of what the life we've experienced is based on our programming. Some is chosen, some is just inherited, and
some from past lives.
Yeah.
You know, some from in our DNA, from all the ancestors that we carry through in our DNA.
Yeah.
And it's having a daughter, I think, becoming a mom, it gives you so much more foresight, and it also gives you a lot more hindsight, and like a bigger picture into a deeper picture into your own soul and your own self.
Yeah.
Because they're mirroring back all of the things that are not that are unhealed about you.
Yeah.
That are just going to start triggering you. And you have to go on this journey to ask, oh, why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel so angry? Why do I feel so sad? Why does this not feel like it's mine?
Right.
This was something new in the last few years where I kept feeling like there's this heaviness, and but I've forgiven them. I don't want to hold on to that. And then really understanding that when you don't slow down to think about it, you just want to push through and get on to the next thing. But when you slow down to think about it and realize, oh, so much of this is not ours.
Right.
But we still have to figure out how we're going to work through it and deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? It may not be ours. And sometimes all it takes is just being a witness and an observer. And being like, thank you. Thank you. This is not mine. I'm returning it to the light. I've said that.
Yeah.
And I'm thank you for what it's given me to a deeper insight of realizing I don't have to blame myself for all of it or my ancestors, or just understand it's here and it just needs to be released.
Yeah, exactly. I am working with this. I told you I had to wake up early to do 2 sessions for somebody in Europe. Someone came to me because of their son having depression. But in the course of it, I found from one session with him, I realized a lot of what he was absorbing, it was her emotions. So I'm working healing both of them and finding again this morning that for both of them, it's coming back inherited from her mother's side. So one went back 8 generations, one went back 3 generations, but belief systems, physical issues, emotions, like you name it, they're all inherited. But, you know, when we are in a funk, we affect our families, we affect people around us. So, so it makes sense that they were mirroring each other, like you were talking about, and how they're healing together. So it's beautiful.
And kind of like our conversation earlier, and I feel that with my daughter. In the last 2 months, I feel like in ways there's times that I feel more connected to her lately. And even when we're on the couch, the way she leans in, head on my shoulder, or she wants to be near me, and the way she wants to touch me. She went through a period where her and my husband were really close. And she's going to be over there with him, and I'm over here. But it was a safety thing. Mom has been the disciplinarian. My energy has been very intense and combative at times, and I know, like the I know energy, where like I'm your mom, I know. And we've been dismantling, saying, hey, I don't want to say I know. And I would love, because she started repeating it. If I was like, hey Mila, can you do this? I know. I know. Shut down. Yeah. Immediately shuts everything down, and everything is, and then it would trigger me and being like, no, you don't know. And so this weekend, this week, We both, and my husband, we said, hey, can we be observant of these three words? We're all using them. Mila, it's not you. It's not Dad. It's not me. We're all using them, and we got in the habit, and it's blocking us. Our blessings, our love, I know, and sometimes just the no. So quick to say no. And I can't remember the third one at the moment, but like it was becoming a hindrance, and we talked about it, and she caught herself so many times, and she's like, I know, and she's like, oh, sorry, but even that I observed that she was aware, and she caught herself, and she recognized that she was doing it, because prior to that, she's like, I don't do that. And how many times as adults we say, I don't do that, until your kid mirrors back and you hear yourself and like, you learned it from me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wow. As kind of pivoting back onto your conversation, you went from 28 years of flight attendant.
Yeah.
And through that you had your son, and you kind of now you're slowly becoming an empty nester.
Yeah.
But I want to rewind back a little bit. You did get a diagnosis of cancer.
Right.
2020?
Yeah, you're right.
In 2020. It's kind of like the whole world came for the world, but differently for you.
Right.
Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, like you said, my whole life, everything I knew about myself, my identity, really came to an end with, in the course of 6 months, I had finally had the courage to tell my husband that I wanted a divorce, which had taken years of unhappiness, and just the words it was stuck, and I couldn't get it out. So that came out, and then 4 days later, I found out I had cancer. And so I got angry. I got angry because the timing wasn't right, and the way the doctor had told me was I just put blame on him, like he has no, sensitivity. He just said, you have papillary thyroid cancer, no breaks, like no deep breath, how do you feel about that? He went straight in to say, and we're going to send you to a surgeon. He's going to cut it out, and you're going to be on medication for the rest of your life. So he was telling me how my life was going to look, and that pissed me off that he would say that so easily. Like, and he actually told me that if I had cancer, I would want this kind of cancer. I was like, you can imagine my expletive. I was like, whoa! I was so angry, and I guess it was also the culmination of me. It's just a lot of emotions going on at that time too. So I decided to go to Mexico for holistic treatment, Western and Eastern treatment, and there I learned so many things. But that's what opened the door to energy healing for me, because we had access to a huge library. And we could choose any books that we wanted to read while we were getting treatment. And so that I learned about Reiki, I learned about Donna Eden's energy medicine, I learned about, the book is called Whole Body Dentistry, which is about how each tooth is connected to an organ and gland. I learned about, you name it, I learned about everything. And I also experienced a lot, because they had one room with all of these technologies that we don't talk about in the United States. So I got to do light therapy, Rife, you name it. I did so many different things. So yeah, that opened the door. I had the treatment in 3 weeks. My tumors did shrink in 3 weeks, but I had to maintain it, on my own. So coming back to Hawaii, I looked into like the services that were provided there, how I could have them here, and some were and some weren't. But what I found over the course of a few months is it is costly to rely on holistic treatments, being newly separated from my husband, because I came home and I separated, and so yeah, just all in all, I decided to get the surgery, remove the thyroid, and then the next month I had an opportunity to leave my career, which some of the other people, all of my friends were so like, it's like, because you don't you normally make these decisions because you see it coming, and you know that you're going to retire one day. But I didn't see that, and it was hard for most people to make a decision because they're very emotional about what can they do. And for me, I just thought, you know what? It's an opportunity. It doesn't come up often. It probably will never come up again, where I get these benefits and they're paying me to leave. So why not? And I was young. I was only 52, 3. And I thought, well, I'm young enough to find something else to do. So I took it. But little did I know that all of those things would culminate in the silence of depression that hit me right after that, because now everything I had thought I was, flight attendant, wife, healthy. I always thought I was healthy. I did all the right things, but I learned so much in the process of what healing looks like and why certain things happen to us. And so, I fell into depression, but thankfully I was in a group a group coaching program, and I was also working one-on-one with a coach, and that helped me tremendously because it was not an easy time. So I didn't know what I would do for work, but in the group coaching program, what I heard through the program was that the importance of helping other people. And I realized then, like, I'm not the only one, like, suffering emotionally because I left a career I loved. There are other people feel the same way. And so I organized a group program for the flight attendants that, to help them. And that was awesome. But then a few months later, an email led me to someone's book that led me to the Emotion Code book. And I started working with a practitioner to remove my life heart wall. And she encouraged me to get my certification. So I did. I didn't think I could do this work. I was like, I don't know if I have intuition. I don't know, like, what, but I stepped in. It was challenging at first. Then some of my practice sessions were like, holy shit. Like, I cannot believe that just happened. Like, I'll tell you, I was working with a man. This is because we had to have so many practice sessions. And so one of them was with a guy I didn't know. And he was on the East Coast. I'm in Hawaii. And we were supposed to meet, but the timing didn't work out because he had to go to a birthday party. So I worked on him while he, remotely. It was my first time. And I was like, I don't know how this works, but I'll just step in and check it out. So I did a remote session for him, and some of the things that were coming to me intuitively, I was like, oh no. And I wanted to block it and deny it. I was like, no, that didn't happen. No, please, because it's like, it was just like, holy moly, this is the things that were coming to me. I was like, no. And so I said, I was even hesitant to send him my notes. I was like, no, it's going to make me look stupid. Like, I might go back into my ego, like, oh, I can't tell him this is what I saw. Like, this is just not good. It's not going to look good for me. But then I pushed the button. I sent him the notes, and I'm sitting there waiting for him to look at the notes. And then he comes back to me and he's like, you're right. Because I said something happened to him when he was like 3 years old, and it was something happened to him in the church. And he told me that he was in a cult, and this happened and all this stuff. And I was like, holy moly, because I didn't want to believe that. I was like, that he was taken advantage of at a young age, and yet it was true. And I would not have developed like this experience of more self-trust and to put myself out there and say, this is what I'm seeing that happened to you. And he agreed. And so from that one experience, it just helped me, trust that I don't know everything. In fact, sometimes I'll do a belief session on somebody, like I just did one for somebody yesterday. And some of the stuff is coming up. I'm like, no. I'm like, you know what? Let it go. You shouldn't judge. This is not your life. This is just theirs. And they'll tell you later if it's right or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because, sometimes you just feel like, no, this didn't happen. And
Your empathy, but you want to have some sort of control almost.
Yeah.
And how the outcome should have looked.
Yeah.
But that's not up to us.
Right. So
we're the facilitators.
Yeah,
we have to lean into our gifts and those are our gifts, and when we're not using them, we're actually being of disservice to
Yeah.
ourselves and others.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm leaning more into that because it's I think it's probably one of my biggest lessons as an energy healer, that it's really not me doing the work, but I am just the person
Conduit.
that helps, the conduit to the healing. And so that's just been something that I'm still learning to, like, stop your left side brain, let the right side go, and you just go with it.
You just text me anytime, I'll help that.
Yeah.
Because I think, similar to yourself, I've also undersold myself sometimes when I know my spidey senses. My intuition is bang on. It always has been. When I'm leaning and trusting into it.
Yeah.
Right? When I second guess and doubt myself, that's my ego. And I'm trying to get in my head.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not trusting that this can be true, or are we deserving of, worthy of. And through work, I've realized when you go lean in and you just trust, it has always worked out for you and everybody around you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not how you thought it was working out. Sometimes it had to blow up to work out.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, had that not happened, and in the beginning I would blame myself. Oh, why'd you have to do this? Why do you have to be that extra person? And looking back and saying, hey, if you weren't exactly who you were, all of these lives would not have changed. We wouldn't have opened ourselves and our hearts and our energy up. The conversation and the communication wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And we would have stayed small. And I would have robbed myself of authenticity and vulnerability, of stepping into who I truly am and what I came here to do. And I think that's just stepping into it, right? And feels uncertain every step of the way, because there's a new layer. And new things come. And sometimes really heavy. And we don't know what to do with it. It's learning to serve ourselves, and also, what do you need after those things come? Maybe, do you need to slow down? Do you need to go sit on the nature, ground yourself? Do you need to go in the ocean? Do you need sleep to integrate?
Yeah.
I think we as women, especially, we just be like, oh, that came in. Okay, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm realizing. It doesn't serve us. When huge amounts of information or our intuitive energy is telling us something, you can't just file that away, or just be like, okay, good, thank you. Okay, I got it. What's for dinner? I know we kind of have to at some we have little children in our life.
Yeah.
Parents
Demands.
to take care of.
Yeah.
But carving out, making sure, being like, I'm going to come back to this. And I'm going to give myself to process and journal, or whatever that looks like. It's been a huge pivot around that for me. It's been really uncomfortable. Because I recently, at a Powerhouse event, I went and got this tattoo called Be Still. And I have since getting this tattoo, been tested, and can you really be still?
Yeah.
And I feel like every day I on a small level, I fail, because I'm like, I got to do all these things, and I got to figure out all these things. And the beauty in all of that has shown me how much more challenging being still has been for me. And maybe not even knowing what that really looks like or feels like in my body.
Yeah.
Because it's so foreign. And how much I reject it when I am moments of stillness, being like, I'm not doing what I need to be doing. How is this even going to work? I'm not in my trust and my faith energy. I'm in a control, thinking like I know this bigger plan, which I don't know.
Right.
I only know a small, and it's just my micro plan that makes me think it's really big, but I can't even fathom how expansive it can be. None of us really can. Yeah.
It's true. I mean, we have to let go and just be in the uncertainty. Yeah.
It's funny how conversations never go where, they need to, not need to, they go where they need to go.
Totally.
But I want to come back to You were able to, but you've been in remission.
Yeah, it's been over 5 years now.
Wow, amazing. And in that 5 years, you wrote a book.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
What's the name of this book?
It's called Soul Rising. Yeah, your guidance for your spiritual awakening. Yeah.
And what was, you think how did that download to you?
Well, as I was going through a bunch of things in the last 5 years, some strange things started to happen in my life. And because I was in a group coaching program with a lot of really interesting energy, because the coach's brother-in-law was a shaman, and people could get on the list to work with him. And so I think that was partly the reason, because I was in an energetic container that was evolving. We were all evolving I was within the program for 2 years. And so lots of crazy things. I did not know what a spiritual awakening was at the time. But I did know that I thought it was pretty darn cool. Like, I was like, holy shit, am I in a movie? Like, is this really happening? So I always thought this should be in a book. And then in November, our friend Melissa introduced me to Natalie, who is a publisher, and she was looking to fill the last 2 positions for her book. It was 33 people from around the world, women who have had spiritual awakenings in different experiences. And I was like, oh yeah, I want to tell everybody about this really cool stuff. So I wrote the book in like 3 weeks. And the hardest part for me was cutting. I had to cut a lot out because I was limited in the, only
Pages
had so many. Yeah. But what I loved about my work was I used my airline storytelling. And I used it as talking about ready for takeoff, climbing new heights in your life. And I talked about, in the end, they selected my story for the last chapter of the book. So I kind of tie everything together. And I talk about how we are not on this path alone. Like, our life is not just our life. Like, there are other forces at play that are bringing us along the way. And so I got to give people that insight into how they can help them if they're ever navigating, and I'm not saying that it's an easy time, because a spiritual awakening can be really hard.
It is. It's
emotionally,
it's
physically.
You're in a lot of pain. You're putting a death to essentially a lot of identities, and physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah. And you're being birthed at the same time, and then there's a gap in the middle there of not knowing what's going on. Yeah. And questions and frustrations, or do I even want this gift? Yeah. Right? Like, I felt similar to, and I still do. Ask me on the days when mothering feels hard. Yeah. Being a wife feels hard, and then you're like, oh, I'm supposed to also be this somewhat enlightened human, or working up to that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think in the time it was a hard time, but thankfully in retrospect, when I was writing it, I could put some positive, optimistic views to it, as like, wow, look how much I've learned about life, about myself, about my purpose in the course of this awakening. So it was beautiful. I felt it was also a healing moment for me to acknowledge the path that I had been on, and also step into this next version of myself, which in this last year also I got my intuitive life designer coaching certification. So my business has really expanded, because what I found in the past 4 or 5 years of doing energy healing, that subconsciously helping people is so beautiful. It's easy. Like, they don't have to do any work. Like, we just take the energies away and they feel better. But what was missing for some people was, some people love again, it comes back to beliefs of how I need to do my work. Like, I need to do the work, and I need to take steps physically in my life to be a better person. So adding in the conscious coaching element to healing is important for a lot of people, because it gives them a good context to see their growth every day. And integration, and also embodiment. Embodiment and empowerment, and also a practice. I'm a person that likes a practice, a ritual. Yeah, it gives me, like, I don't put labels on myself, but like the tendencies sometimes, like the OCD or like little tendencies that we've kind of gotten programmed in. Those are my grounding principles. I go for a walk, I do my prayers, I meditate, and this other new ritual that I've learned, it's serving me. Teaching me that, I'm still learning, I'm open, and my brain likes that. It likes me to feel like, a little self gratification. That I'm showing up.
Yeah, totally. So it's just magical. I mean, for me, I can see, I am clairsentient, so I can feel a lot physically in my body, and then I'm claircognizant and recently clairvoyant. So, I mean, the gifts are just coming and evolving and evolving and evolving, but it's just such a beautiful feeling. Seeing someone come in dark and like an hour later, they're like, light is coming out. Like you see the light coming out, and I'm like, yes, this is beautiful. Like helping souls evolve, and just like we were talking about, but coming back into alignment with ourselves. Like you were saying about your daughter, like being stuck in this box when she's not meant to be in that box. We're all like that. There are parts of our lives, whether it be in business or love or health, whatever, that we've suppressed or we've come out of alignment. And so sometimes we just need guidance to get back on course and say, really, like, at the soul essence of who you are, this is who you are. This is how you've always been. But we get, the stresses of everyday life too, the pressures to pay the bills and to perform, expectations and
comparison game.
Yeah,
like,
judgment.
I'm not far enough.
Yeah.
I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Well, no, we're exactly where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. So those things pull us out. We get off track. Yeah. We're like a railroad train that's going in the wrong direction. Sometimes we just need to be redirected and get back on path. Yeah.
I'm like so happy for you. This is not an easy journey.
Yeah.
And you hold a lot of energy from people. How do you deal with that? Like, what do you do for you? Your self-care, because as a facilitator of healing and gifts coming in, what's this next chapter? What is this chapter looking like for you? How are you managing? Because I know it can be challenging.
Yeah, well, I mean, I learned the hard way when I first started getting, because Dr. Nelson, the man who created these modalities that I perform, like I do, he did not teach why it's happened. Like, why is it possible for me to work with somebody on the other side of the world and clear them? He didn't teach that in the books. And so through my own experience, I realized if I don't disconnect from someone who has Achilles problems or whatever, I could actually take that on.
Yeah.
So I learned this on early in my own. I actually didn't have to, but thankfully I was led to another healing modality, pranic healing. And that talked to me about the spirituality of healing, which was not present in Dr. Nelson's book. He really wants to keep his modalities open for everyone. So there's no religious, there's no spirituality, not really. He just keeps it on the surface level in teaching, because he wants everybody to be a healer in their own.
And we are.
Right.
We are our own healer. Like, even we are facilitators. Yeah. You still do your own healing. You have to be open to that, because somebody else can't heal you if you're not open.
Totally.
That's at least my thoughts and my beliefs and what I've been experienced.
Yeah, so I went and I learned about pranic healing, and that's where I learned about how is it possible for me to be connected to people I don't even know, I've never seen. I talk to animals, or like connect to babies that aren't even born, or help a soul transition who needed help going to the light. And like just a lot of really cool things that I don't talk about have happened in the last few years, and it's really super cool, in my opinion, to be able to be a tool or a servant to the works. Yeah. So, I mean, so that is one thing, disconnecting. That's what I do. Disconnect from the energy that I'm attached to. Grounding helps, like, put the energy outside of myself.
How do you disconnect?
Disconnect?
Yeah. What does that look like for you?
Yeah. So after I say a prayer before to connect, I say a prayer after, asking for guidance and illumination. And then at the end, when I'm disconnecting, I send healing angels to be with the person and to process easy. And then I consciously disconnect, and physically I disconnect. I say disconnecting from this client, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do, and just run my hand like that across my navel.
Clear the energy.
Yeah. So I mean, I have many other practices, but that's one I do every time I do a healing for someone. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
And you're open to receiving clients all over the world because you do this work virtually.
Yeah,
you can do it in person if you're close, but like you said, you were helping someone in Europe, and we're in Hawaii.
Yeah. I mean, and when I first started working with animals too, I didn't know what was possible because we don't speak the same language, and I don't really know other than what their owner comes to me with, like they're not eating, they're feeling anxious, they're agitated, you know, they're angry, whatever. Like I only get what the owners tell me they're observing. So, but to be able to like connect to an animal to find out like what's there, you know, even a newborn baby, it's amazing. And it's just such a gift because that's probably the biggest opportunity for healing is if we understand what the soul needs, you know. And sometimes in our 3D body, we don't understand. We don't understand the language, or there's no language because the baby's not born yet. But being able to tap into the energy and actually understand what is going on in the baby's mind. Also, another thing that I do is I tap into frequencies. So I'm able to connect to someone and tell them, like figure out like how they are on Dr. Hawkins' scale of frequencies. So, for instance, I know a baby's in trouble if their frequency is low because a baby's frequency should be high. It should be love, joy, peace, and you know all of those good things. But if a baby's frequency is low, then there's a problem there. So,
what does that mean when you say there's a problem there? What does that physically or mentally?
It could be physically. Could be physically a problem because if our frequency is low, number one, it's affecting our emotional state. It's affecting our mental state.
Yep.
And then it could be affecting our body because that's what happens with emotions. Basically, emotions can get trapped in our body. They're not like, we label them love, peace, joy, anger, frustration, all of these emotions that we title, but truly what they are balls of energy
in motion.
Yeah, and they can be lodged in our field, in our bodies. Yep. And that causes our blood and lymph to be dysregulated and not flow like it should. So that can cause our growth to be, as a baby, could cause problems in their growth and other things. Also, different parts of the healing process for babies that are still in the womb, sometimes their body or their spirit is not connected to their mom. Their mom's, there could be some kind of energetic disconnect between baby and mom. So I'm able to go in and find out what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also comes with a lot. And you must get your own healing.
I do, yeah. Thankfully, I work with healers, and even for my family members, like sometimes I will guide them to other healers to work with too. So
I think it's important because sometimes when it's so close, it can really cause, and it become dangerous for yourself too.
Yeah.
Right, because you are close.
Yeah.
And you want to have a relationship, but you want them healthy and well, and that's and I think it's important why practitioners don't practice on their own family, or at least doctors are not supposed to.
Yeah, right.
But oh my gosh, that's great. I want to pivot and take a little bit of a question in the sense of you have a son who's kind of grown. You're this empty nester.
Yeah.
What does your business look like? Where do you see it going?
Okay.
What do you want from it?
Thank you. So when I came down this path, before I even came down this path, one of the coolest things I learned from a general manager at a hotel. I used to dance hula in a Polynesian show in Waikiki, and I would sit at the bar after the show with the general manager, and he would guide me and tell me like, how do I find where my career path is. And so when I left the airlines, I used that tool to say like, okay, what's next for me? I don't know what it is, but I learned to make 2 columns, right? You know, do I want to work alone? Do I want to work in an office? Do I want to do this? Do I want to work with people? I want to work with, you know, so I put everything down. And what I realized, I learned a lot being a flight attendant, and I loved the
people in and out. You're in the air with people for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah. So I learned what I wanted to create was now I get to create the job, the future that I want. And so I started to create a life where I can work remotely with people all over the world. And so one of the things I did last year was join Trusted House Sitters, so I can travel to different places, take care of people's animals and their plants while they go on vacation. And I can get a sense of the place, because as a flight attendant, we were only there for like a day or two, you know, in a place. So we got like the overview of locations, but I would love to just be in places for longer periods of time and just soak in the energy and meet new people and all of that. So that's what my future is being able to, I can say, I actually can say this and it feels kind of bad, but I do want to leave Hawaii. And
I don't think it needs to feel bad.
Okay. No guilt there.
It served you.
Yeah.
But if you're holding on for reasons that are not meant to be held on to, then it's no longer of service, and you're no longer of service to this land and the people.
Yeah. I just feel like I want to expand more.
Yeah.
And I feel here, I give myself to my family a lot to help them with whatever they need. I put myself on the sidelines and, you know, support them. And I'm ready to embrace my life and whatever is next for me. And I know there's opportunities for me to step into bigger, higher levels. And I believe that's going to happen next year. Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you believe it and you already know it, it already exists. It already exists. Like the future is now.
Yeah.
If we can't see that the future is already happening now, how can you step in? You're going to always be one step behind and thinking it's outside of you. You are creating that life, and you're being honest about it, and you're saying, hey, I love my family. I want to support them and help them. I've done the best, and I can do what I can. I also am here on a soul mission for myself. And I'm meant to have greater impact.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can enable our families and other people to become too reliant on us. And that becomes a disservice to everybody.
Yeah.
And resentment, and, you know, it's also a way that we block ourselves. Maybe not taking accountability and being like, hey, I really want something different. What you got to do something different.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So I'm excited. We'll see what comes of it, but that'll be happening next year. Yeah.
And you can do your business. You're a coach, intuitive coach, and healer, and you can do that anywhere because you've built it so that it's remote.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your book is already...
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Let's let the audience know, listeners.
Yeah.
How can they get your book?
Get my book on Amazon.
And Soul Rise.
Yeah, it's called Soul Rising.
It's called Soul Rising.
Guidance for your spiritual awakening. Yeah.
Love that. And if somebody wants to work with you, they feel called to work with you, how do they work with you?
Yeah, so this year I am really focusing. Because I have worked with everybody and their animals for the last 4 years. So anything, like I have worked on many different levels. But this year I'm focusing on working with midlife women who are at a point of making a pivot, but they don't have the courage yet to make it. So it could be in a relationship or in their career. They're just not happy, and they want change, but they don't know how to go about getting it. And so I am working with those women to bring them more sense of themselves so that they can find the courage to embrace the next chapter and make it the best yet. You know, like sometimes people call midlife like the crisis or, you know.
midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Falling apart, like it's everything.
Right. That's when we start to feel the aches and pains and things, and really that's our wake-up call. Those aches and pains are there for us to start to tune into our body. And so one of the things that came to me last week was, it's kind of like when we're younger, we birth children. Like as women, we birth our babies. But when we're in midlife, we birth ourselves.
Yeah.
And that was just like, oh, it's true, because now we, from a place of confidence, can choose to what is it that we want to create next, and make the rest of our lives like even better.
Yeah.
We don't have to feel like we're ending on a sour note, that life is going to end, but really it's a time for us to grow and blossom in ways that are truly in alignment with our soul. So that's what I'm working with people now, with those women.
Midlife women, if you're in the middle of a pivot and a change, here's Gina Hansen, ready to work and help you move through any kind of healing, and maybe open up to even possibilities and curiosity of what can and is possible.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, to rewrite your story, and really get to know who you are. Because a lot of times, a lot of the people that I work with are people pleasers, like I have been. Giving to your children, to your spouse, to your job, just giving so much. And in the course of that giving, you forget who you are. And so it's important to come back to you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a beautifully segue. And if you can give a little advice for the listeners, there's a woman out there listening in the midlife and the pivot. If you can give her 2 tips, what would it be?
Well, your dreams can be even bigger than you imagine right now. Like and then sometimes it might take you wrapping arms or locking arms with other women or a coach or a community for you to see that's what's possible for them is possible for you. So we're all in this growing together. So whether you need support or not, it's possible. Like there's so much possible for you. So don't give up hope, number 1. Number 2, find a community or find a coach that you resonate with, that can give you the support and push a little bit, gentle little nudges for you to come back into alignment with your soul. Yeah.
Thank you, Gina.
You're welcome.
That was amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And we will have all of Gina's contact information in the show notes. And you are also on Instagram. What's your handle on Instagram?
Reinvent Midlife. Yeah.
So follow Reinvent Midlife. And she's always posting some amazing information and sharing content and journeys. So I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing today your journey and your gifts. And being open. Because not everybody can come on and talk about these intangibles that we can't see. But we know we came here to do, and we've helped people. So thank you for your vulnerability and your kindness.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me, and for the beautiful cup of tea that I drank all of.
My pleasure.